Chapter 902. Well, he would just wait patiently for 3 days and win the $10 billion. Wilbur looked at the time and saw that it was 7 in the evening. He began to meditate. That same evening, news of Trevor Penn from Seaturetown challenging the Great Styles Dunes spread through all of the Aroma Cultivator and Underground Circle. Everyone was shocked, asking around just who on earth Trevor Penn was and how he had the nerve to challenge someone at the Super Sanctuary level. It was important to note that Styles had been the top dog of Aroma for decades, with no one being able to outperform him. There were 3 Sanctuary-level cultivators in Aroma: Christopher, Logan Tor, and Gaston Jenka. All of them looked up to Styles as their leader. Due to that fact that Aroma and the other parts of Dasha were relatively segregated, all they knew was Trevor Penn was at the Sanctuary level. That was obviously within everyone's expectations. To be able to reach the Sanctuary level was already considered a huge deal, and it was understandable that this Trevor guy was cocky enough to be attempting something like this. However, Styles was at the Super Sanctuary level. Trevor would be in for a nasty surprise going up against him. It was a one-way ticket to hell. All at once, all the casinos opened up their bets. Of course, everyone unanimously bet heavily on Styles winning. On top of that, they even bet on exactly how many minutes Trevor would be able to last against this Super Sanctuary cultivator. From the bets that had been put down so far, it seemed like 3 minutes was the limit. Aroma was abuzz with excitement. After all, they would be able to witness a battle between 2 Sanctuary-level cultivators and win some money out of it. Despite the fact that Styles was winning for sure, Trevor was also a Sanctuary-level cultivator himself. He should at least be able to put up a fight to some degree. The next morning, Wilbur woke up on time. He got ready and headed to a restaurant for breakfast before returning to his apartment room and smiling at the sight of his chips. He had time, so he might as well entertain himself. Chips in hand, Wilbur headed for the lounge on the first floor. He was still oblivious to the huge bet on him around Aroma. Wilbur walked around the lounge when a voice greeted him all of a sudden. "Good morning, Mr. Penn." He turned to see Tiff hurrying over. "Hello, Mr. Penn." Tiff bowed respectfully when she reached Wilbur. It was clear that the $100,000 tip played a part in this. Wilbur smiled. "Hello. Would you still like to play today?" asked Tiff. Wilbur nodded. "Sure. I have some free time anyway. Should I hold your chips for you?" Tiff offered. Wilbur was clearly still in the mood to gamble, and it would be unprofessional of her to discourage him. After all, her job was just to keep the gamblers company. Wilbur smiled and handed her the chips. "What would you like to play today?" Tiff smiled. Wilbur gave it some thought. "Let's go with something simple today." "Sure. A game of Sic Bo should be easy enough." "How's that?" With how much capital Wilbur now had, slot machines were definitely not a suitable game anymore. Betting on dice was the easiest game there was now. Wilbur nodded in agreement, wanting a stress-free game that did not require much thinking. The two of them sat down at the Sic Bo table. Tiff placed Wilbur's chips down in front of him, sitting next to him closely. Both their bodies brushed against each other every now and then. "Place your bets," the dealer called out. The gamblers put their chips down, mostly in the thousands. Just then, however, Wilbur pushed all his tokens onto the side of the table betting on big. The move shocked everyone at the table.